What's going on, weirdos? It's your man Shane Kid Walker here with Hollyweird TV, bringing you all yet another video. Today, as a result of the last historical figures installment, we here at Hollyweird decided to bless you all with a follow-up episode. Oh yeah, you can watch the last installment in the little icon on the top right of your screen. For this installment of historical figures, we're going to take a look at the life and times of arguably the greatest rapper ever, the late great Tupac Shakur. From his humble beginnings with Digital Underground, a critically acclaimed solo career, to his tragic end in Las Vegas, Nevada, the rap star has undoubtedly transcended the game of hip-hop and left a lasting impression for those who have followed. Please stay tuned to the end of the episode for a brief programming note. As always here at Hollyweird TV, we place timestamps in the description below so that you, the viewer, can skip ahead and control the video as you see fit. Without further ado, let's begin. Tupac Shakur was born in St. Parish Crook on June 16, 1971 to Alice Faye Williams, also known as Afeni Shakur, and Billy Garland, both of which were active members of the Black Panthers in the latter half of the 1960s into the early 1970s. Ironically, Tupac was born in East Harlem, New York. Because of his parents' affiliation with the Black Panthers, Shakur was seen as somewhat of a child prodigy by some of those within the faction. He was the godson of Assata Shakur, as well as the stepson of Matula Shakur. In 1984, when he was 13, Tupac moved to Baltimore, Maryland, and would eventually attend the Baltimore School of the Arts. It was there where the aspiring artist studied acting, jazz, poetry, and even ballet. Also, while attending the performing arts school, he befriended actress Jada Pinkett and remained friends with her for the remainder of his life. Tupac once again moved, this time to a small community known as Marin City in California. While there, he attended Tamalpais High School and began acting in the school's theater. Tupac would officially begin his music career in 1989 at the age of 18. Going by the stage name MC New York, he began taking up the poetic teachings of Layla Steinberg. After a year under Steinberg's direction, Tupac managed to net a management deal with Antron Gregory. Gregory, who was also managing Digital Underground at the time, made Tupac the group's road agent and occasional background dancer. As fate would have it, this would be the true genesis of the rapper's iconic career. In 1991, Tupac made his national debut on a Digital Underground song, Same Song, and also appeared in the accompanying music video. At the end of 1991, Tupac released his debut album, Tupacalypse Now. Led by the singles Trap, If My Homies Call, and Brenda's Got a Baby, the album performed well on the charts. The album touched on social issues that were becoming a mainstay at the time. It peaked at number 64 on the Billboard 200, as well as number 13 on the top hip-hop and R&B charts. As of 2019, Tupacalypse Now has sold approximately 1,350,000 copies. His sophomore effort, Strictly for My NIGGAZ, would prove to be a much better outing than his debut. Led by the singles Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around, just like Tupacalypse Now, it touched on social issues as well as Tupac's political beliefs. However, the two albums were miles apart in terms of production. Tupacalypse Now had a more up-tempo, pop-like feel of sound to it, while Strictly for My NIGGAZ had a more street-style of production behind it. As a result, Strictly for My NIGGAZ would become known as Tupac's breakout record. However, in later years, Tupacalypse Now would become more appreciated than it originally was. In March of 1995, Tupac released his third studio album, Me Against the World. Often hailed as one of the most influential rap albums ever, it is described to be Tupac's magnum opus. The album's lead single, Dear Mama, is a fitting tribute to the woman that started it off for the rap star. Unfortunately, that'll be the only bright spot for him in 1995. Around the time of the album's release, Tupac's legal troubles began to catch up with him. In February of that year, he was convicted and sentenced to 18 months in prison for an alleged sexual assault against a woman in a hotel room. Ayanna Jackson claimed that she only consented to oral sex and nothing more. After returning at another time, the victim claims to have been raped by Tupac and 3 other men. On the defense, Shakur himself stated, "I'm hurt that a woman would accuse me of taking something from her." Suge Knight, former CEO of Death Row Records, posted a bail of $1.4 million in order to have Shakur free from prison. Although a freed man, this was only the beginning of Shakur's problems. A twist of fate would see Shakur make an enemy out of an old friend. On November 29, 1994, Shakur was involved in a shooting incident at Quad Studios. It is widely believed that the music manager Jimmy Henchman offered the rapper $7,000 to appear at the studio. Needing to cover the impending legal costs for his forthcoming sex abuse trial, Tupac accepted. Upon arriving, Tupac was ambushed by 3 men and was robbed at gunpoint. However, the rapper resisted and was shot a reported 5 times as a result. With his upcoming trial and an already brewing tensions between the East and the West Coast in hip-hop, Tupac didn't know who to trust. As a result, he blamed those within Bad Boy Records for orchestrating the attempted robbery. It was believed that Tupac was going to indeed join the Bad Boy roster. However, after the shooting and his guilty conviction, he instead signed with the Los Angeles-based Death Row Records. After the shooting, the Notorious B.I.G. released what was seemingly a diss track entitled "Who Shot You?" Upon learning about the song, Tupac fired back 4 months later with what is considered to be the greatest diss track ever recorded, "Hit 'Em Up." Along with "Hit 'Em Up," Tupac fired any lyric imaginable at Death Row's rivals, putting down anyone or anything that claimed any form of allegiance to Bad Boy. Even though the coastal rivalry had been ongoing since the early 90s, it didn't take a second full gear until Death Row metaphorically declared war against Bad Boy. During the height of the East Coast-West Coast rivalry, Tupac released what proved to be the final release of his lifetime, "All Eyes on Me." Led by the singles "How Do You Want It" and "California Love," the album did so well critically that it ranked at number 3 in Entertainment Weekly's top 10 albums of 1996. Sticking with the usual but enhanced Tupac formula of social awareness and politics, it will go down as the very first double full-length hip-hop solo album. Tupac had little time to enjoy the success of "All Eyes on Me," because in July of that same year, he began recording the Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory under the alias Machiavelli. This would prove to be the final time that Tupac worked on an upcoming album with all new, non-archived music. On the night of September 7, 1996, Tupac attended a boxing match that featured friend Mike Tyson taking on Bruce Seldon for the WBA Heavyweight Championship. Tyson defeated Seldon in the first round at only 1 minute and 49 seconds. At the fight's conclusion, Tupac and his entourage encountered and confronted gang members that allegedly robbed one of Tupac's friends. The gang members were revealed to be Southside Crips, and they were led by Baby Lane Orlando Anderson. After the altercation, Tupac retired to his hotel room and soon set out for Club 662 for Tyson's after party. Sadly, Tupac never arrived at the event. At approximately 11:15 p.m. on Las Vegas Boulevard, a white 4-door Cadillac sedan pulled alongside the vehicle carrying both Tupac and Suge Knight and began opening fire. Tupac was hit 4 times, while Knight came away with only a minor wound. As a result, Tupac was rushed to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. While there, Tupac was placed into a medically induced coma and was placed in the intensive care unit. Sadly, on September 13, 1996, just 6 days after the shooting, Tupac died from internal bleeding, and the official cause of death was respiratory failure and cardiac arrest as a result of gunshot wounds. As of October 2020, neither his nor the Notorious B.I.G.'s murders have been solved. Tupac was 25 years old at the time of his death. Tupac has gone down as the greatest rapper of all time. After his death, 6 additional albums were released posthumously. Among those released were the aforementioned The Don Illuminati, The 7-Day Theory, Are You Still Down, and Better Days. In 2002, he was inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. 2 years later, in 2004, he was honored at the very first hip hop honors put on by VH1. In his first year of eligibility, in 2016, he was nominated for induction to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just 4 months later, on April 7, 2017, he was inducted by longtime friend and frequent collaborator Snoop Dogg into the Hall. Although controversial, Tupac's message about social and racial injustice helped pave the way for modern rappers the likes of Kendrick Lamar, Lupe Fiasco, and J. Cole. Not only that, his music could be seen as a precursor to the Black Lives Matter movement. Did you learn anything? If so or if not, please tell us about it in the comment section below. If you have any ideas on what we should do next, by all means, leave your recommendations in the comment sections as well. Yeah, we actually read those things and we do give shout outs to the recommenders. Next time on Hollyweird TV, we're going to introduce a new segment entitled Villains, a Hollyweird Perspective. In light of the impending Cobra Kai Season 3 release, it is only fair that we profile the main antagonists of the Karate Kid and Cobra Kai series. And no, we're not talking about Johnny Lawrence. We're going to take a look at his mentor and his teacher, the one and only John Kreese. Stay tuned. What's up, guys? It's your man Shane Kid Walker here, and I'm giving you guys a very quick programming note. Now, if you guys noticed that the last two videos released here on Hollyweird TV has kind of been spaced out between 2 weeks, that was done intentionally. And in fact, for right now, as of this current video, we will be doing that here at Hollyweird. We're going to be releasing videos not weekly but bi-weekly. I know I stated in the last Getting Personal with SKW that we were going to keep it weekly. Turns out my mental psyche cannot handle all of that. So with work, my work schedule, my schedule with Hollyweird TV, all of that, it's kind of making my life go to shit right now. So we're gonna still be releasing videos, but now officially it's gonna be on a bi-weekly basis. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring that dang on bell to get all of our notifications. Until next time, remember, Hollywood is a weird place. I'm your man Shane Kid Walker, and this is Hollyweird TV.